Hey guys, how you doing today? It's me, Kelly. Today we're going to do a knit stitch. I'm going to teach you how to make your slip knot. I'm going to teach you how to cast on, and I'm going to teach you how to do your first knit stitch, which is a garter stitch. Now, I've done classes with this before, so I'm going to try to make this more of a class kind of teaching situation where I will show it a couple times over and over so you really grasp it. That's how I learned. I learned this years ago. I used to get DVDs from the library, and I would sit and watch them over and over and over again. And it was so hard for me to grasp. Although I'm a very big visual learner, I learned much like that. But I kept thinking it was harder than it was. And once I got it, I jumped up. I was so excited because I finally got it. It computed in my brain, and I was just so excited, and I haven't stopped knitting since. So when I got all the requests, I'm going to try to go through all my requests of different things. So I'm going to start with knitting first because I got quite a few, I guess, because of knitting and things. People want to see knitting. But I did, like I said, I did do classes prior to this quite a few years ago, and that's where I'm going to start. So what I'm going to talk about first are the needles. And I love bamboo needles. And the reason I love bamboo needles is because they're not as slick as aluminum or plastic. I have many aluminum and plenty of plastic knitting needles, and I use them. They're not an issue, but I think if you're starting out, you want to get bamboo, especially if you have problems with your hands, because it's a little stickier than the plastic and metal, because the plastic and metal obviously just slide very, slippery. And this just gives you a little bit more grab and a little bit more control, I feel. You can use a coupon, and you can go to AC Moore or Michael's or Joann's or Hobby Lobby, and you can get yourself a nice set of knitting needles. Now you can see these are very big, and these are size, where's the size? These are size 15s, and these are very long. I like long ones as well, but when you're first learning and first trying all this out, it can be very cumbersome because they hit the table, they hit your stuff. I mean, they're not as free-flowing as you want. So this is a size 15. You can get this width because the bigger the width, the faster it's going to go, just because you're making bigger stitches. But you can get them in this size length, where you see what I'm saying? You see how much difference that is? But you can get them in smaller lengths of the bamboo with a thicker, bigger number. Now, these are size 10.5, and these are as well, bamboo as well. This is what I'm going to use. This is what I use for a lot of my projects, because I really find for my hands and my mobility, this is the size that works best for me. Now, I have done double pointed needles. I've done size 1 needles. I mean, I've done all kinds of things, and we'll get into that as the videos continue, but this is where we're going to start. My suggestion as well is to look at your dollar stores. Look at your thrift stores. They constantly have yarn and knitting needles there. So if you can go to your dollar store or your thrift store and find a pair of needles, that's what I would pick up, and find a thing of yarn if you're just starting out wanting to learn, because you might take apart this 6 times. Do you know what I mean? And it's an inexpensive way to find out if you're really going to dig it. It's very meditative to me. It's very soothing. You can sit in front of the TV and do this and watch TV. It becomes such a automatic thing to do. I know the basics of crochet, and I can make a nice granny square. And I'll be doing videos for that coming up after we get through the knitting. So for all your crocheters out there, or people who want to learn to crochet, I will do the same thing, and we will start out with crochet. But right now we're going to show knitting. So I'm going to move my camera in just a bit, just so you can see a little bit better. And we're going to start with what they call a slip knot. And what the slip knot is an adjustable loop. And so you take your first 2 fingers. Now, I'm right-handed. And this is my way to knit. There are many ways to do a slip knot. There are many ways that you can knit. There's many ways you can cast on. This is how I do it that works for my disabled body. And hopefully it'll help a few of you out there. So you just take your 2 fingers and you take your yarn. This is where the end cut. This is the part that sticks, you know, that's connected to the yarn. And you want to take that and you want to take it around your fingers and you want to cross it over right there. And you want to put your thumb there to hold it. Turn your finger this way and you want to take this piece that's attached to the yarn and you want to put it through there. You want to grab it and you want to pull your knot. And there's your slip knot. Now to adjust your slip knot, always pull the sides that the piece that's connected to the yarn. And that'll go smaller or bigger. And that makes your adjustable loop. So let's do that again. You have your two fingers. You have your yarn. You're taking it around. I hold this piece, the cut piece, with my thumb while I take this around. And then I cross it. And I put my thumb on it. I just turn my hand a little bit. I take the piece that's connected to the yarn. I squish it under there. And I pull it. And ta-da! You have your knot. One more time. And then we'll attach it to the needle. Again, take it around, and cross it. Hold on to it. Take it through the back. Take it under. Pull it. And always pull the piece that's attached to your ball of yarn. Now, suggestion. If you're learning for the first time and you think that the ball is going to be too constrictive, restrictive, I don't know what the word is I want to use, but it's too much, you can take your yarn, okay, and you can go like this, and you can keep wrapping it until you have a nice amount on there, and then you can cut it off from your ball of yarn, and that'll be a little bit less weight. It helps sometimes with your hands and your wrists if you find it's pulling too hard. I don't really have too much of an issue because I either put mine in a plastic bag, a Ziploc bag, and we'll seal it everywhere except where the yarn comes out. And I'll show that in the next video. I'll make sure I don't know if I have a plastic bag sitting here. I'll have to look, which makes it come out, but it's, you know, safe from any kind of dog hair or dirt or whatever. And it makes it not get tangled. It's a lot easier, but they have things you can buy to put your yarn in. I don't be bothered. Or I just lay it on the floor and let it roll as I knit. It's not a big deal. But some people like to unwrap it and wrap it their own way. I can't be bothered. You know, so it's totally up to you. But we'll talk about that more after we do this. So one more time, here we go. Say it with me. Wrap it around and cross. And then take it, I don't know if that makes sense, and pull it through the bag and you have your slip knot. Always pull from the piece of yarn that is connected to the ball of yarn that you have, whether you cut it or whether it's a skein. Okay, so we're going to take our knitting needle. We're going to stick it in. And we're going to pull the piece of yarn that is attached to the ball. And you'll see it's tightening up. Okay, so this is how we have it. You're holding it. I'm right-handed, so this is how I knit. I'm holding it right now to show you. And you will have on this side, you will have your cut piece and your long piece. Now, what I do, I hold on with my back fingers here. You see how that holds on? And now I'm going to do a cast on. So what I do is, see how I'm holding it? I have the yarn right here, and I'm going to put my thumb. And what I'm going to do is going to go around my thumb, and you see how it crosses? Right? Here we go. Got it right here, around my thumb, and it crosses. Right here, I'm going to stick my knitting needle, right? And I'm going to let it go. And there I got 2 stitches on there. And I'm going to do it again. And don't do it so tight. You don't want it loose, but you don't want it tight. You just want a medium kind of thing where you can still see these slide, but they're tight enough that they're going to hold on. Okay, here we go again. I grabbed the yarn with my fingers underneath. Here's my thumb. I'm going to wrap it around. And once I wrap it around, I'm going to take my knitting needle. I'm going to grab it. And there's my third needle, my third stitch on my needle. And we're going to do it again. Here's my thumb. And remember, I'm holding it here. The yarn that's hanging, that's attached to the ball. See, it's attached. So I'm going to hang on to it with these 3 fingers, actually. I'm going to put my thumb here. Hello, thumb. And I'm going to go around my thumb, moving that. And once it gets here, this yarn that I'm holding here, I'm going to stick my needle under. And there I just cast on. So now I have 4 stitches. Now, again, and under, 5 stitches. And this is what you learn how to do at 6 stitches. 7 stitches, 8 stitches. Now let's say you do this and you're like, oh no, I messed up. What do I do? You take it off and you just go, and when you're down to your knot, pull the piece that's attached to the thing, and you have your brand new yarn again. And look, it's not a big deal. The more you do it, the more you're going to know how to do it, and you're going to learn. So let's do it one more time. We're going to do the slip knot. So the slip knot, okay, cross over, stick it in the back. That's how simple. Always pull your yarn that's attached to your ball. Take your knitting needle, whatever size, whatever type, it doesn't matter. And you pull the one that's attached, the yarn that's attached to the ball of yarn, and then we have them sitting here, right? And now we're going to cast on. So I move this up a little bit just so the stitches are closer. I grab on with this, and I hold on here. I put my, it's automatic now. I mean, I could do it and I don't even know I'm doing it. You hold that yarn here, take your thumb, move your needle around, and it goes on this side. We don't want to grab it from here. You're not going to get it. You want to go on this side, and there's your stitch. And let's do it again. See how close I can get. Wrap it around. On the opposite side of that cross, put your needle. That's 2. So we have 3 stitches on there. See? 1, 2, 3. Again, wrap it around. There's where we cross right there. See that? That's where we cross. On that side, you want to grab that. There you go. That's 4. Let's do it again. Wrap it around. There's that cross right there. You see? Taking on that side. There you go. Wrap it around. Taking on that cross. And you can go really fast doing this. And I'm not going to do that now. But we have 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. Okay? So let's pretend you have on as many stitches as you want. I advise doing maybe 6 to 10 just when you're just starting out to learn so you don't get overwhelmed. I'm speaking from my personal experience. When learning anything, I have to do it in small doses. If I cast on 20 stitches here, I would be overwhelmed probably by the time I got it. So I think 10's pretty good that you get it down pat. But hey, if you can handle it, go for as many as you want. So now you can see we have our 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stitches. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn just with my, look, that's all I'm doing. So now when I rotate my needle, you have your yarns coming out this way, right? And I'm going to move these up. You can move these up as close as you want or down. And here's our yarn that we did our knot with, and here's the yarn that's attached to the ball. So here we go. We have our 6 stitches. This is our first row right here, and we're going to knit. Here's what you do. You just take your needle, and I'm going to try to get up here the best I can. Take your needle, and you want to stick it in right here. Let's see if I can show you. Yep. See, it's behind. Let's get cleared up here. There's our stitches. It's behind. It's like right here on top of that knit. So you just stick it so it goes in sideways. Hold on to it. Grab your working yarn that's attached to your ball. Take it around. All right, so we're in here. Take it around. Ugh, it's hard. I want to get it on camera. Well, good for you guys so you guys can really see. Wait. Stick it in. Take your working yarn, take it around this. That's the needle you just put in, so we're taking it over. Take it over, hold it down here so it loops, and then you'll see it'll be on that needle, and it comes through like that, and then you'll take that needle off. And then you do it again. Stick it in, goes towards the back, take it over, and you turn it, and here it is, and you take it off. Stick it in going sideways. Make sure you go over the knit there, the loop that you have. Okay. Then you're going to take this over. That's the needle that went through there. And when you pull it out, you'll see it's right here. And you just pull it up and pull that other loop off. Very simple. Let's do it again. Stick it in. And the first row, like we're doing here, is always the toughest because as you go on to the second row, you'll see it gets much easier. So we have our needle through and we're wrapping around our yarn that's attached to our ball. And you can see when we bring it out, you just grab onto that yarn and you take it off and you do it again. Stick it through, wrap your yarn. And you'll see I slipped off there. No big deal. Just go back and do it again. Take it through, wrap your yarn around it. Like that. Take it off. And then here's our last one. Let's see if I can really get in there. See how that needle's, how that ball's there? Okay. We're going to stick it right there through. Take our yarn. It goes over. And then when you start pulling it, you're going to see that little, there you go. And you pull it off. And that is your first row. So then what you're going to do is turn your needle again. Now you have this little tail here that's going to probably get in your way. As you can see here, for me, it got accidentally knitted in. It's no big deal. You can either cut it. Let's see. Don't cut your working yarn, but you could cut it down a little bit if you want. I usually do if it starts getting in my way. Use good scissors because you could see those are not good scissors. I got to sharpen them. So we turn it like we did the first time. And look at that. There's our row. So let's do it again. Same thing. We're going to take, now you can see right here, let me see how close I can get. Right here is our stitches. That's what you want to be facing the right side. Okay, when we turn over. So here we go. I have my string, my yarn, I'm holding in my hand. I'm going to put my needle through. Now remember, maybe if I move this out of the way, it won't focus as much. I don't know. Okay, so remember, these are our stitches. We want to go in on top of them. Stick our needle in, turn it, and then just going to take it off. And we're going to stick it in again, roll it around, take it, and then go through. Put it in again, take it. Oh, see, no, I lost it, that one. It's not a big deal. Take it back out and then just go back in. Take it. As long as you don't take this one off and you miss your yarn or whatever, you can take it out. It won't hurt anything. Wrap it around. Take it through. Now, your yarn might split sometimes, and that's okay. I just pull it up to make sure my needle went through all of it. Not a big deal. And take it off. And then we're going to slip it through again. Wrap it around. Right? Slip it through again. Wrap it around. Take it out. Stick it in. That's your last one. Wrap it around. Take it and take it off. And then I turn it because that's where I'm going to be starting working next. And look how much we've knitted so far. Fantastic. So that's what I want you guys to practice and try. I'm going to be doing a giveaway where I will probably do a set of needles and a yarn, ball of yarn, skein of yarn, whatever you want to call them. And I want to know what you guys think. I want to know what you guys think of this. I want to know if you tried it. I want to know if you want to learn to knit. And I want to know your opinion on this. What do you think this is hard? Do you think it's easy? It's not. You see how fast, and this is on small needles. Imagine if you're doing on the bigger needles, the difference. And what I'll do is I'll do a swatch with the bigger needle. And then in the next video where we learn how to purl. This is knit. This is your garter stitch. And then I'm going to teach you how to purl. So then you can knit and purl and you can cast on. And I will teach you how to purl and cast off. And it's a very easy, there's a million stitches in between, and we'll do some fancy ones coming up. But just for this, you can just sit here and make a scarf or a blanket for your animal or start a blanket for your child or your grandchild. It's a lot of fun. And I just love it. It's very relaxing. So let me know what you guys think. And if you would like to see a giveaway so y'all could try. So as always, be kind to each other. You never know what battle somebody else is fighting. There's going to be a few videos in the knitting series. Let me know what you guys think about the how easy it looks as I'm showing you to do. Because it's hard to show, you know, as much as I want to show it very clear and easy for you to learn, I just want to know what you guys think of the video. And if I should change anything in it, I appreciate all feedback. And I love you guys. And I have all the list of all kinds of things that you guys want to see that I'm going to be starting to add in as well as my mixed media. So I will talk to you guys later. And I hope y'all have a very blessed day.